Hi, I'm Daniel Lucas, and welcome to Abstract Essay, where ideas take shape, thoughts find depth, and every conversation explores the art of thinking beyond the obvious. And today I have my special guest. He's the world's greatest podcast guest, none other than Mr. Nicky Billou. Welcome to Abstract Essay, Mr. Nicky. And can you please introduce more about yourself?
Daniel, thanks for having me on the show. Originally, I'm an immigrant from the Middle East. I'm a Christian from Iran. But when I was 11 years old, the Islamic Revolution took place in Iran, and there were gun battles in the streets near my home. My mom and dad were freaking out. And they're like, oh my God.
What's happening to the world?
And in a moment, I'll tell you something powerful. One day, there was a crash. Something sailed through our living room window, breaking it, and it landed right next to my feet. It was a bottle, and it seemed to be burning. My dad instantly jumped, grabbed the bottle, and he pulled out this rag that was burning. It was a Molotov cocktail. I didn't know what it was. And he said, son, in a moment, this thing would have exploded and killed you. And then he turned the bottle over, and there was a note on it that said, die, Christian scum. So mom and dad said, this isn't going to be a place to raise a Christian family. They got me and my two brothers out of Iran, and they took us to Greece first, and then from Greece to Toronto, Canada. Now, I was a kid at the time. I didn't want to leave my home. I didn't want to leave my friends. But as time went on, I started to see that there was nothing nearly as amazing, nearly as powerful as what my parents had done for me and my two brothers. They left behind everything and everyone they knew for a chance at a better life for me and my brothers. And I could see that we were now living in a free society, that we had moved from a totalitarian place to a free place. And I believe inside every human breast beats the living heart of freedom. Every man and woman on this planet yearns to be free, to march to their own drummer, to chart their own course. And I became an entrepreneur, and I became a man dedicated to serving entrepreneurs, to honor my mom and dad. And because I believe that that's the best way I can support free people is to help them become successful, because the more successful you are, the more financially free you are, the more free in general you are. And I believe in freedom, and I believe in you.
Definitely. Freedom indeed. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Mr. Nicky. And today, let's talk about how to add a $30,000 to your income in the next 30 days. Can you tell us about this advocacy of yours?
Absolutely. Well, let me first say this. The only way you're going to be successful in business is if you don't make it about you and how much money you want to make. Now, you have to have a goal, don't get me wrong. But if all the focus is on me, myself, and I, God will notice that, and he doesn't like that. God wants you to be here to serve your fellow man and woman. And when you're making a sale, it's got to be about the other person. Because otherwise, you're going to be thinking, I hope they like me. I hope they're going to buy from me, blah, blah, blah. Instead of, God, I hope that I am the right person to do your will and to be of service to them. So that's first and foremost, Daniel. Does that make sense to you, Daniel?
Makes sense, Mr. Nicky. Definitely makes sense.
Good. Secondly, you got to be focused on solving a problem for someone else. Okay. How do you make money in business? You solve problems for people for a profit. P, P, P. You solve acute problems for amazing people at an awesome profit. That's the awe inspiring purpose of business. I'll tell you a story, Daniel. A client of mine. His name was also Dan. Unbelievable, right?
Yes. Unbelievable indeed.
Unbelievable. So we called him Danny, though.
Mm-hmm.
So Danny was a fitness trainer. And he was a good guy, Daniel. You know, he was the kind of guy that if you had a sister, you'd want your sister to date him. He was that good a guy. The only problem was with Dan, good old Danny, is he wasn't making a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? He
Yes.
just wasn't making a lot of money. Why is that? Well, because he was focused on all the wrong things, Daniel. He was focused on, oh my God, how do I make money? And I said, Danny, who do you help? He said, I can help anybody with any fitness problem. Mistake number one. You can't be all things to all people. You got to be something to some people. So I wanted him to narrow his niche. He said, okay, I'm going to go and work with doctors. And I said, doctors? Why doctors? He says, my dad's a doctor and I love my dad. I go, that's great. Why else? Doctors make a lot of money. Yes, they do. I'm like, Danny, no, it's not going to work. So I'm doing it. He did it. He got one, maybe two clients. And I said to him, Danny, this ain't working. You're making $1,000, $1,200 a month. This isn't good. He says, you're right. Okay, let's go for cardiologists. I go, why cardiologists? They make more money than doctors. I go, Danny, you're not getting it. Can't be about the money. No, I'm doing it. He got no cardiologist doctors to become his clients. What did happen, though, through serendipity, through luck, through the intervention of God Almighty, is Danny himself met a man who was a Paralympian athlete. Paralympian, Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
He had a missing leg, and they worked well together. He helped him win some medals at major international competitions. And one day, Danny comes to me and says, Nicky, I owe you an apology. I go, you do? Why do you say that? He said, because you've been telling me not to go after the money. I've been going after the money, and I could see you were right. I'm sorry. He said, now, Nicky, I'm not doing that anymore. I want to help these people with missing limbs. I know how to help them. I said, Danny, that's a great idea. Go for it. He went for it. Daniel, he went from making $1,200 a month because he barely had any clients to he got 400 clients in 6 weeks, and he was making over $100,000 a month. Not 30,000, but 100,000, bro, in a single month. And how do you do that, Daniel? He did it by
Yes.
stopping the focus on the money and wanting to make a difference for the people. And people could see that. Nobody else was trying to help people with missing limbs work out. He was the only one. And his message, Daniel, wasn't, hey, come here. I want to make money by working with you. His message was, I hear you. I see you. You're just as good as anybody else. Come here. Let me help you and show you how. And my friend, when it's not about the money, it's about making a difference for your fellow man and woman. And when you focus and you narrow your focus on a niche, that's when beautiful things happen for you, Daniel. That's when your life goes from tragic to magic. That's when your business goes from stuck to growing. That's when you see that you are a beautiful child of God, brought here on this earth, intended for a purpose, a mighty purpose, a purpose to serve, a purpose to make a difference, a purpose to be the best version of thee that you can be. And when you do that, only good things happen for you.
Very well said, Mr. Nicky. Totally empowering indeed. And how do you help people overcome self doubt or limiting belief about earning more quickly?
That's a great question. Let me answer by sharing a story with you.
Go ahead, Mr. Nicky.
So there was a man and he was already successful. He had an acupuncture clinic in Manhattan, New York City, USA. And he made $150,000 a year. But Daniel, that's Manhattan. That's not a lot of money in Manhattan. The money went out as soon as it came in. So he comes over to me and he says, Nicky, I want to make more money. I need to make more money, but I don't believe I can. I said, all right, let's take a look what's going on. So I looked at his business. He had a niche. He had a good business. He had a good marketing angle. There was only one thing he was doing wrong, Daniel. He undercharged. The problem is when you undercharge, you hurt your clients, right? Because your clients won't think you're any good. Let's imagine you're a relationship coach who helps men whose wives don't want to be married to them anymore. That's a good and valuable thing. And if a man's wife is leaving him and he goes, okay, Daniel, help me out. I need your help. Let's go. What do you charge? And you say $50. He's not going to trust that you know what you're doing. High prices reassure your clients that you know what you're doing. Okay, so his prices were low. And I told him, you need to raise your prices. He says, but no one's gonna want to pay more. No one's gonna. I said, relax, don't hyperventilate, relax. And I sat down with him and I helped him see that if he didn't get what he should get, which was the right price, he wouldn't get what he should get, which was, success. And also he wouldn't give what he should give, which is what his clients needed from him, his very best. So Daniel, very soon, very shortly, I helped him shift his mindset. He raised his prices 7 times as high as they were. 7 times. And Daniel, in 4 months, he made $1.2 million. 4 months. Why? Because we helped him understand and value himself. Daniel, you got to value yourself. If you don't value yourself, nobody else will. And you need to be around people who see your value. I'll tell you a story of a young woman whose father passed away and left her a car. She didn't know a lot about cars. It seemed to have a bit of rust on it in his garage. So she invited a few people to take a look at it to give her a price for the car. The first one managed a junkyard. He looked at the car and he said, I'll give you $50 for it. I'll just turn it into junk. She looked at it and she goes, $50? That doesn't seem like very much. She said, thank you, but I'm going to keep talking to people. The next person was a guy who owned a used car lot. He took one look at it and said, I can fix that up and probably sell it. I'll give you $1,000 for it. It was better than $50, Daniel, but still $1,000. She says, man, this thing's probably worth more than $1,000. I don't know. She says, thank you, but I'm going to keep looking. The next person she had come look at the car was a classic car dealer. This was a 1957 Corvette Stingray in near mint condition. A couple little marks and scuffs here, but the guy recognized what it was right away. And he said, this is a classic car in near mint condition. I'll pay you $500,000 for it. Now, Daniel, was the same car, 3 different people came to see it. Only one of them valued it properly. The others didn't. What's the moral of the story? The only reason that your mindset sucks is because you don't value yourself properly. You need to be around someone who values you properly. And the smartest thing to do is come and become a friend of mine, because I see the value in people. I believe in people. I encourage people. I'll help you see what you're worth. Jump on my calendar. Nicky Billou is my name, but my calendar is ecircleacademy.com/appointment. That's how you get on my calendar. We have a conversation. We help you value yourself properly so you don't sell your value for just $50 when it's worth $500,000. And that, Daniel, is my mic drop moment.
Yes.
You like it?
Definitely. Nice story. Mr. Nicky, truly, truly empowering indeed. And what will be your short term and long term goals, Mr. Nicky? as an entrepreneur?
I want to help a billion people become multimillionaires because that's how we're going to make the world a better place. That's how we're going to spread freedom. I want to see a billion millionaires. I want to be personally helping a million of them do it, but a billion millionaires, my friend. That's where it's at as far
Yes.
as I'm concerned. Billion, billion,
Billion. I want to be a
billion,
billionaire, Mr.
billion
Nicky.
billionaires.
Billionaires. Yes, I read a book that said, dream big, dream billionaires, not a millionaire. So,
Billion millionaires, million
yes,
billion. That's where it's at, Daniel.
million billionaires. I like it. So, good luck to your goals, Mr. Nicky. And what will be your advice for those people out there want to be entrepreneur like you, Mr. Nicky? Are you there? I want to apologize, people. Mr. Nicky is not around right now, but while we are waiting for him, I'm inviting you to please to listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too. Comedy 101 in second season, and my food 101 in fifth season as well. The geography 101 in fourth season, and my baby podcast. Law 101 and Mental Health 101. Love Letters in its third season, and Movie 101 Review and Music 101 in its fourth season, and Science 101 and Sex 101 in its first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen to your podcasts. And one more, people, please do grab a copy or purchase one of my audiobooks because they are one of the best sellers on Audible. Book 101 Review Volume 3, Book 101 Volume 2 Selected, and Book 101 Review Volume 1 Highly Recommended. These are my 100 episodes of my first season on Book 101 Review. And my climate change book, Earth Fever and Unraveling Climate and Our Race to Restore Balance, and of course one of my self-help books, Thread of Existence, weaving the tapestry of life. Life is too short, a journey of discovery and fulfillment and joy. Stand tall, stand together, breaking the chains of bullying. So while we're waiting for Mr. Nicky, let's play one of the chapter of my Life is Too Short.
Life is too
Welcome
short.
back,
A journey of
Mr.
this.
Nicky. And my last question is, what is your piece of advice for those people out there who want to be an entrepreneur?
Listen, you know what? Trust God, trust Jesus, and take action. That's my advice. And if you need help, jump on my calendar, ecircletammy.com/appointment.
Yes, indeed. If you need help, people, ask for help. Ask Mr. Nicky. And can you recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
The Bible and The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand.
Awesome. Can you tell us about a little bit of these books that you're recommending, Mr. Nicky?
Well, the Bible is the Bible. I think everybody knows what the Bible is. The
Yes.
Fountainhead is a book that really is about an individual going after their dream and not letting other people talk them out of it. Beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for that recommended books, Mr. Nicky. And if someone fails to hit the goal in 30 days, what usually the reason behind?
They didn't give it their all.
Hmm, they don't give their best. So, what's the craziest or most unconventional way you have seen someone add a 30K quickly?
Pick up the phone, call lots of people, and ask for business. That's the
Yes,
best way.
definitely. That's the best way, people. Communicate and connection for sure. And Mr. Nikki, how do you prioritize action when time is limited, like 30 days?
You got to have a daily plan, Daniel. You got to have a daily plan. And the plan is what brings in the sales. That's what you got to do.
Should people focus on one income stream or multiple in this short time frame?
One.
Just only one.
Yep.
Okay, and concentrate to it. So, how do
Yep.
you stay productive and avoid burnout when pushing for aggressive income goals?
Like I said, for 90 days or for 30 days, you got to just push and have daily actions that you take.
So, can you share a real example of someone who followed your method and hit 30K in a month?
Well, I just did with Daniel, right? And I also did with the other fellow who made $1.2 million
Mm,
in 4 months.
in
Absolutely.
in 4 months.
Hmm.
Awesome, awesome. So, Mr. Nikki, before we wrap up our discussion for today, which is I did already, please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, Book 101 review in its fourth season. So, Mr. Nikki, what's your final piece of advice for someone starting this challenge today, right now?
Listen to Daniel Lucas and listen to his podcast. That's the best and smartest thing you can do to get smarter and do better in life.
True. Yes, definitely. Mr. Nicky Below, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your business, your advocacy, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Yeah, go to eCircleacademy.com/appointment.
Yes,
That's
people,
the way.
yes, indeed. Let's support Mr. Nicky Below because if you support him for sure, more and more and more empowering people to come for sure. More and more empowering advocacy to come. So, Mr. Nicky, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for yours, Daniel.
More to come, people. See you soon.